Hello everyone, Ceri Griffiths here, or as you know me, Ceri the Crafter. Now, as you know, I answer all the comments on my YouTube channel. Sometimes it's a little heart, sometimes it's just a thank you. The more in-depth questions I try to answer more in-depth or direct you to places where you could find the answer or I've answered the question before. However, there are recurring questions that come across different videos that I try to answer in a different format, whether that's via my Facebook group or via a YouTube, and this is a YouTube. So just before I get going, this is not a tutorial, guys. This is just a question being answered. Now I've got a list in front of me, so I'm looking down in that direction. Guess what? I'm reading my own list. Now the question that keeps coming up, and it comes up for a lot of us here on YouTube, is what do you use your jelly prints for, or your mono printing, or your gel plate? It's great seeing you use these to create great backgrounds, Ceri, but what do you actually use them for? So you could use them for umpteen things, from card making to scrapbooking to just so many uses. So I thought, right, I've gathered together 10 of the things I use them for the most, and I've got a bonus, so hang on till the end. So First of all, let's see if I can reach everything around me. I'm a bit like the dashboard of the Starship Enterprise here. I've got stuff all over the place. So, right, the first one is boxes. I recycle boxes. So I will cover my boxes with my gel prints. So as you can see, this is the one I keep my arty postcards in. So I cover boxes. So, and just as an example, even just a generic little box. I mean, this is one I keep erasers and stuff in on my desk. I mean, I just cover them up. Great way when you get those Christmas presents or those gifts or birthday gifts and they're in a robust box. You go, what should I do with this box? Cover it, and then it's no longer a gift box, it's just a box. Example, here you go. This is what I keep my ATCs in. Again, just covered in my gel prints. Let's put those over there. And as a desk tidy on my desk, yeah, this is my desk tidy. There you go. Gel prints stuck all around this box, and this just holds my coloured pencils, pens, waters, inks, paintbrushes, that sort of general stuff, just on my desk, and it's in there, and that's how I do it. So number 2, covering books. You've already seen me cover books, but I'm going to show you if you haven't seen them. So this is the one that I did in the video. As you saw, I took a composition notebook and I covered inside and out of the cover, and I actually used one piece as a pocket here, and it's something I do regularly. Here goes another one. This is one that's full of all the videos I'm about to make for you guys. There's quite a lot in there, as you can see. I think last count I've got 85 videos to actually make at present, so there you go. So I do genuinely use them to cover, you could use them to cover school exercise books, anything like that. So let's see, next on the list, collage. Okay, I would probably say collage is one of the main uses of my gel prints, whether it's gel printing onto paper or whether it's gel printing onto tissue paper. You've seen a few of these, a few you may not have seen, but I'm going to introduce them to you in case this is the first video of mine you're ever watching. So first of all, if I can pick him up, we've got Big Bad Bald Bob on a block, completely collage, top and bottom, inside out, all around, and this was done with my jelly prints onto tissue paper. Then more recently I collaged eggs because I wanted to give the option of doing something smaller than a large head that would be achievable, and they make great home decor items. Put a few of those in a glass dish on your coffee table, believe me, they'll be a talking point at your next get together. I also collage onto canvases. This is a canvas. It's not complete yet. This is just a background. There's going to be paste on this. There's going to be more paint stuff. But as you can see, I've just collaged completely onto it. You can see all the raw edges at the back. Another way to use it up. That could also be a journal cover, don't forget, or it could just be a board, or it could be a canvas board, could be a bit of recycled cardboard that you've painted with maybe white gesso and then collaged on. So yes, I do those. Right, next on my list is, excuse me leaning over, is I do journaling. So I make journal cards out of them. As you can see, they're here, a lot of them. I will then put more decorative elements on. These are just bases for me to work on in the future. I do the same with tags, as you can see, all different sort of tag bases here. If you put some washi tape and you put other decorative items on these, I mean, very useful. And all I do is I just make a 12 by 12, or I make an A4 or a letter size piece of card into a gel print and I cut it up. Or one of my expanding tags, you've seen the video for this, if we open the expanding tag out, guess what? It started life, hello, it started life as actually a gel print, and now it's ended up as a tag shaped piece of paper with lots of journaling on the back. So that's my expanding tags for you. Again, another use for using it, and it's a great way of putting colour and a theme into a journal without using a digital or without using a designer pad or something like that. So what's next on here? Okay, next is art journaling. Right, now you have seen, this is the art journal, this video is out there. This art journal page that I created, all of the background of that, guess what? It's jelly printed. So that's that one. Then I do have a private art journal, which I don't share with you in videos, and this is it. Maybe when it's complete one day, I'll share it with you. But there's a few other uses in here that I use my gel prints for. So I will gel print papers, and then I'll put them onto a page, stick them onto the page, and they give me a background ready for making more artwork. Or as you can see here, this is a completed art journal page from me. All the background is gel printing. I've got a few to show you, don't worry. Again, if I want something really subtle, again, here you go. This is another one. Both pages have been had a layer of jelly printing done on them. And what I've done is I do the jelly printing onto paper and then stick the paper onto the page. That way I get exactly what I want. And one final one, this is a completed one, but if you look at the background is completely gel printed. Now I don't know the way this camera's set up as to whether you're going to read that backwards or frontwards or wrong way round or whatever, so forgive me, I don't know how to flip a video, I'm just going to leave it be a video. So that's art journaling. Next, okay, you're bound to have seen me do these. When I'm doing art journaling, not art journaling, when I'm doing gel printing, I use labels as my roll-off sheets, and then I go into my labels and I'll put extra bits of art on them, I'll stamp on them, I'll do things on them, and then I will use them in my journaling. I will use them as accent pieces. I'll even, if you've ever received post on me, there's usually one of these on the back of the envelope or the box with my signature on it, and I just use spare labels that I find at thrift stores or sale bins, and I literally will just use my gel printing for that. Now the thing I do have to warn you, and if you haven't watched the video, is if you're going to gel print onto labels, you need to brayer onto the label. Don't put the labels on the gel plate, because when you lift them off, guess what? All the labels are stuck on the gel plate and no longer on the backing paper. How do I know this? You need to watch one of my videos. I messed it up big time, but I left it in because it was a lesson learned for all of us. Okay, next one, trims. I will very often gel print onto full sheets of label paper and cut them into strips. And then these just give me decorative trims I can use in my art pieces, my planner, my journaling, and I mean there's a whole load in there, as you can see. Now you don't need to do them onto sticker paper. You could quite easily just do them onto paper, like your A4 or your letter size papers, and then just cut them into strips on your trimmer or your guillotine. Just glue them down with a Pritt stick. But yeah, I find these incredibly useful. I use them all the time as accent pieces. What's next? Okay, biggie one for me. So the way I keep my chaotic life organized is with one of these, which is a traveler's notebook with lots of different elements in it, and I make my own inserts. So here is, this is an old one. I mean, I've collaged as I go through. I use them as an art journal, as a bit of a mindful thing every day to do. But as you can see, the cover is actually made from a jelly print. So I make my own covers for my own TNs or traveler's notebooks, and just as proof for the pudding, this is my current one. And it's going to be a bit tricky to hold up for you guys, but as you can see, every one of these, I've just dropped a note on the floor, is actually gel printed by me. So I will make them up, and it's just a nice way because I keep my inserts later, and then I've got them to refer back to if I'm looking for a date, I'm looking for something. So yes, I use them to make covers for my TNs. You could equally make them into journal covers as well, whatever size you're printing, or just collage them together, sort of Franken paper them together if you haven't got a larger gel print. Say you've got a 5x7 plate, make a load of 5x7s, cut them into shapes and then stick them onto the background, and then make that background into a cover for a journal. So plenty of uses there. Right, next one. Oh, leaning over, all the way over there. Right, I use them in my signatures. So these are just printed on just regular copy paper, and these go into my signatures in my journals. And what they do is they just add a bit of unique colour and texture into my journal. Sometimes I will decorate them, sometimes I will leave them plain. I find that if you're going to write onto an acrylic painted surface, it can sometimes be tricky. So if I'm going to put a focal point or a decorative element, I would probably stick it on here. If not, I would put maybe a piece of coffee dye paper or something there so they could journal on it, but leave the majority of the background showing so that they've got something nice to look at. I mean, that would look fabulous in an autumn or a fall journal. And it's quite an easy thing to do. I sometimes use my roll-off sheets, or I use clean-up pulls to do these sort of things, and they're great. And just as an example, okay, here, this isn't one of my journals. This was a gift to me from the wonderful Gail Augustinelli. Let me just pull the ribbon off. Now, as you can see, Gail has made the entire cover here from her gel prints onto tissue paper. And if I open it up, okay, there you go. She's used journal pages, and she's used her printing on the tags. More journal pages printed over. She's used a piece as a side tuck there. More gel plate prints. More gel plate prints. They make for very, very interesting looking journals, and I love them for it because they are so unique. The one thing I like about gel printing or mono printing or jelly plate printing is you can never repeat the pattern. You can never repeat the texture. You can never make the same one again. So everything you make is uniquely yours. And before I forget, by the way, the trims I talked about, these trims here I actually do have as a digital download in my Etsy shop. So if you want to go to my Etsy shop, you can actually just print those off onto sticker paper or print them off onto regular paper and cut them into trimmer strips yourself. There's 5 sheets of them, believe me, that gives you a heck of a lot of variety. So there you go. Right, what's next on my list? Okay, one that you may not think about, but it's something you may want to think about. Okay, let's pull in my box. Okay, this box here is full of all of my finished prints. These are the ones, this is, where's the label gone? Where's the label gone? Have I lost the label? Sorry, I haven't known out about it. Oh, there you go. This is my green box. I have a traffic light system, so anything in a red box is just plain backgrounds. Anything in my amber box is actually something that's had extra detail put on it, but it's not quite there. It just needs a little push to get into the green box. The green box is, they're finished, they're fabulous, and they're ready to go. Now, something you may not think about is I will use my 12 by 12s, and it would work with smaller sizes depending on what you're using or adding them to. I will use them as background. So, okay, last year for Halloween, I made this little witch in the attic. It was a little diorama with miniature books in. I made it out of 2 little brown boxes, and I cut them up and did the text. As you can see, it was my little Halloween thing that I made last year. Now, if I took that and put that on a plain background and photographed it, it looks lovely. But guess what? If I take the same thing and I photograph it on a different background, I can create atmosphere. So let's see if I can find one that's a little more Halloweenish, or a little more menacing, should we say. Actually, that's pretty darn menacing. Okay, if I photograph this on that, that actually, if I come in, will set a mood for it. So if you're selling little things on Etsy or eBay or on your own website, instead of just laying, say you're doing jewellery, instead of just laying your little jewellery pieces onto a piece of canvas or something, consider laying them onto a gel print. Lay them there, you'll then pick up the interesting background, and just make sure that your background doesn't overpower your foreground is all I'm going to say. But yes, if I laid this down and then photographed it from above, it would look great with a wonderful background to it. Same thing goes for, let's see, I need to find one before I show it to you. Ooh, too many choices in here. I love my gel prints. Try to find something with a little bit of a blue in it if I got it. I tend to use all my blueprints before I use any of the others. Don't know why that is, probably because I really like them. Actually, let's use that one. Come out with them. Okay, so we've got this background, which is a bit Celtic, should we say. Let's see if I've got another. I really would like to find a blue one. Bear with me a moment, as our friend Gail would say. Talk amongst yourselves. I think I've spotted one I like. Actually, I quite like. Okay, this is a gold diamond one that I've made. Now, a little while ago, I had a gift sent to me, which was an absolutely fabulous dragon journal from Char's Crafty Shop. Absolutely love it. Very dragon themed. If I wanted, I'm not going to sell this. Don't get me wrong, but if I made this journal and I wanted to sell it, if you photograph it laying on a background, let's put it that way, then can you see how much more that would have impact when you're actually selling on Etsy or eBay or any of those websites? The most important thing you can do is actually have a thumbnail or a photograph that is absolutely going to hook them. You need to stop them scrolling, and having wonderful pictures or great backgrounds or great clever shots is the way to do it, because unless someone stops scrolling by, they're not going to buy your product. Okay, so take this, put it on a background. There you go, that's the one I made the other day. Put it on the background and photograph it. How much more impact does that have than having it on a white background? Okay, something to think for the future, guys. Okay, that was 10 different ways to use them, and I said I'd have a bonus for you. Excuse me, probably just had a real big close-up on my ear then. Another thing I'll do is when I'm creating stuff, say, when I created this cover, you saw I had offcuts. So what do I do with them? I actually take a craft punch, or I take dies, and I will cut them into shapes. And then these things will become focal points on my journaling. Another one, here you go. I took some gel prints, and I've used, these are, I believe, Tim Holtz leaf dies, and I've gone in, I've cut autumn leaves out of them. So this could be tucked into a pocket as a piece of ephemera, could be stuck on a page, anything like that. So hopefully that gave you 10 ways that I use them. There are so many more. They're just, I know card makers who will use them as layering stuff. I know people who do scrapbooking who will use them as journal pages. I know people who will mount their art pieces and use gel prints in the background when they come to matting and layering the framing for it. There are so many ways, and I haven't even touched on printing on fabrics or other mediums as well. So hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. It was just a little one from me. Hopefully that's now answered the question that everyone asked me. Oh, I just thought there is other things I do with them. Okay, you've heard me talk about my arty postcards. I make arty postcards from them. So these postcards will get sent out with orders, or just sent out to friends if I'm going, you know what, just thinking about you today. So I'll send them out. And likewise, really close there. These are the backgrounds for my artist trading cards. So nothing goes to waste. I'm actually just, they're just something as a background. But there's one thing I don't like as a background. It's a plain background. So if I have any opportunity to actually put some pattern or texture onto something before I start building an art piece, I will do it. So anyway, enough of me rambling. Hopefully, as I said, that answered all the questions, or all of the subscribers who have been asking what I do with them. So in future, if someone does ask me that question, I'm literally going to put the link to this video into the comment, and then they can come over and see this. So thank you for your patience, guys. I will continue to answer questions in this medium or this way. If I have a number of people asking the same question across several videos, it's just so much easier, because it can take a couple of hours a day at least to answer all the comments and all the questions. So if I can do a blanket video which will cover them all, that's what I'm going to do. So you have a great creative day. Hope the sun shines on you wherever you are, or if you need rain, hope it rains on you as well. So until next time, guys, take care. Bye bye now.